Well, to round off match week 5, this is a massive clash. It's top of the Premier League versus top of Bundesliga. The two teams are 1 and 2 in the Champions League group stage. It is Arsenal hosting Bayern Munich at the Emirates Stadium for this blockbuster clash here. Man, oh man, the stage is set and we're all up and running for the start of the first half. Arsenal in their red and white kit and Bayern in all black here in the away game here. This should have all the ingredients of a cracking contest. Which one of these two teams will take bragging rights heading into match week 5? What's up, Aman? How are you, bro? What do you think the scoreline will be? This is a big game, isn't it? There is no resting. There is no hiding for either team here. Bayern Munich immediately on the start here. Here's Leonard Karl, the young 17-year-old, getting the big nod here, courtesy of his manager, Vincent Kompany. Predictions? Well, Aman, I don't really do predictions. I would love to hear yours, though. Think Arsenal just might shade this game here because they're playing at home, but Bayern Munich are such a difficult opposition. Man, they've got goals galore in their team. Saw them against Chelsea in match week 1. They were irresistible. 3-1 on the night at the Allianz Arena. Well, I'm saying 2-2 here. That would make both teams absolutely level after match week 5 in the group stages. Here's Gnabry. Pavlovic finds Upamecano. You can see here Bayern looking to set the tone early on, pushing Arsenal back. Here's Upamecano, finds German centre-half Jonathan Tah. Again, looking very comfortable on the ball here, Bayern Munich. Manuel Neuer decides to bypass the press. Well, with Gnabry on the left, Olise on the right, and Leonard Karl as the number 10. Plenty of service for Harry Kane. Well, Harry Kane has scored the most amount of goals in the North London derby before moving to Bayern Munich. As Stanisic on the right-hand side. He's been caught in a cul-de-sac. What a pass and immediate control there by Michael Olise. Finds Jonathan Tah. Well, Konrad Laimer is playing left-back today. That's a surprising call by Vincent Kompany. No Rafa Guerreiro. He's on the bench. Big news for Arsenal that their skipper, Martin Odegaard, is fit, but he's only fit to be on the bench today. Might see a few minutes for him. Of course, Arsenal have that massive game against Chelsea on Sunday. Here's Upamecano. Finds Jonathan Tah. Good possession here from Bayern Munich. Harry Kane will be picking up all sorts of positions to unsettle the back line here. Jurrien Timber has a foot race here with Konrad Laimer. Goes all the way back to David Raya. Good strong header there by Jonathan Tah. Zubimendi's header. Declan Rice looking to combat there. Upamecano's header is brilliant. Bayern Munich showcasing their strength there. Declan Rice with the challenge. That's a foul there according to the referee. There's no time whatsoever in the middle of the park here. Bayern Munich really showing their intent here early on. I wouldn't blame Mikel Arteta to rest a few players considering they have that big game against Chelsea, and he has gone very strong, hasn't he, Mikel Arteta? Might be a foul there by Tah. The late flag there by the linesman who's right in front of the action. Jonathan Tah and Ebreze, of course, who scored that hat-trick in the North London derby on the weekend. Bayern Munich, on the other hand, put 5 past Freiburg. Once again, continuing their dominance on top of the Bundesliga table here. Free kick for Arsenal. First real attack that they've managed to conjure up here. It's Saliba and Christian Mosquera as the centre-back pairing today. Piero Hincapié, who started in the North London derby, might be expected to start against Chelsea, which means Christian Mosquera just slots in as that left-sided centre-back. Free kick for Arsenal will be Declan Rice's right-footed whip delivery. Bayern Munich just holding their line just outside the box. Brilliant ball in there by Declan Rice. And Saliba's header has gone just wide. Let's have a look whether or not... Yep, he was clearly offside. The whole host of Arsenal players offside. Their good line held by Bayern Munich. But Mikel Arteta, 2 seasons ago, had that big game in the quarterfinals against Thomas Tuchel's Bayern Munich. Didn't go according to the plan on that occasion. Here's Bukayo Saka. Immediately double teamed there. Brilliant by Lima and Pavlovic. Alexander Pavlovic playing alongside Joshua Kimmich in that midfield pivot. Looking to control proceedings here. 5 minutes on the clock. Bayern have started very well. They haven't been overawed by the situation whatsoever. Here's Kimmich. Finds Lima. Saka looking to put pressure on him. Anywhere will do there for Konrad Lima. Vincent Kompany back in the Premier League. A lot of eyebrows were raised when last season he moved to Bayern Munich after being relegated from Burnley. I mean, imagine that trajectory. You get relegated with Burnley and your next move is to the Bavarian Giants. That is quite the career trajectory for Vincent Kompany. Winning the league last season, but their Champions League campaign would have been a disappointment, and it's something that Bayern will be looking to go at least a couple of steps further forward as Declan Rice flings this ball into the box. Cleared away by Upamecano. As he gets there first, here's Lewis Kelly. Has an opportunity to impress here. Picked ahead of Ricardo Calafiori. Great feed there by Leonard Karl. Here's Konrad Lima. Jonathan Tah. Arsenal looking to be on the front foot here with the press. Upamecano finds Stanisic. Good pressure again there by Leandro Trossard. Of course, he scored the opening goal in the North London derby. Well, with all the summer signings that Arsenal made, a lot of talk was that Leandro Trossard might fall below the pecking order, but he has been one of the mainstays in that left wing position, with Gabriel Martinelli dropping to the bench. We'll see whether or not Trossard keeps his place once Martin Odegaard eventually comes back and takes that number 10 position. Might force Ebre Eze on the left. Pavlovic finds Kimmich, who has dropped between the two centre-halves, onto the right-hand side. Here's Stanisic. Again, Bayern looking very comfortable, very assured on the ball here. Good possession here for the away team. Upamecano forced to go long. Good pressure applied there by Mikel Merino, who once again starts as that makeshift number 9. Saliba finds Jurrien Timber. Oh, lovely turn away from Serge Gnabry there from Timber. And now finds Bukayo Saka. A step over. Good play there from Konrad Lima. Great strength there from Saka, but it's not an accurate pass as Stanisic just nips in. Again, Arsenal not really clicking into gear early on. Haven't found that fluidity yet. Good pass there from Zubimendi to Merino. Clips that beautifully for Leandro Trossard. Oh, Manuel Neuer's committed and the chip doesn't get past him. Here's Bukayo Saka though. Cut back, Zubimendi strike. It's Trossard. What a block that is. And the offside flag subsequently raised. Well, Arsenal coming very close to opening the scoring there. Manuel Neuer decided to try and sweep there. Decided to hold his line. He's caught in no man's land here as Leandro Trossard just looked to lift that over the keeper. Neuer deciding to not take any more chances. He decides to go long. Here's Pavlovic. Jonathan Tah sweeps. And Manuel Neuer just decides to clear that away. Anywhere will do, but Saliba has pinched the ball here. He's found himself in a number 10 position here. Far too much on the pass there from the centre half. Again, very much on the front foot here, Arsenal. Looking to just change the pressure and put some back on Bayern Munich, who look pretty comfortable on the ball. Leonard Karl, 17 years of age, starting in the Champions League against the league leaders in the Premier League. A lot of faith shown by Vincent Kompany. Here's Serge Gnabry. And looking to get away from the challenge. What a pass. That is brilliant from Gnabry. Finds Michael Olise. He is a tricky customer here, Michael Olise. Pavlovic goes back to Olise. Nobody closing him down here. Lewis Kelly needs to get a bit tighter. Kimmich. Again, Bayern settling in nicely. Both centre halves really deep into Arsenal territory here. Konrad Lima. Finds Jonathan Tah. Upamecano, very clever here. Harry Kane for the first time. Again, dropping into those pockets, making it almost impossible to mark. You need one of the centre backs to really follow Harry Kane as much as possible. But it might leave you in that position where you really are opening up your defensive shape. Kimmich, Pavlovic. Here's Jonathan Tah. Again, very good possession here for Bayern Munich. Serge Gnabry finds Tah again. Just over 10 minutes on the clock. 0-0 the scoreline here at the Emirates Stadium. But Bayern Munich shading possession in the early stages. Kimmich nicely feeds that onto the right-hand side for Stanisic. Ooh, that's an errant pass, but he gets it back. Here's Joshua Kimmich. Pavlovic. Again, this is excellent. You rarely see this at the Emirates Stadium where a team is just bossing possession early on. Kimmich finds Michael Olise. Holding the width, but he will be operating in those half spaces. Make no mistake about it. Upamecano put under pressure. Here's Jonathan Tah. Both centre halves very comfortable on the ball. Konrad Laimer doesn't have the pace, but he does keep possession nicely here. Surely a foul there on Serge Gnabry as referee waves play on. Upamecano finds Joshua Kimmich. Again, looking forward onto the right-hand side. Olise. See Leonard Carl holding width on the right-hand side too. Again, look at Harry Kane here, just dropping into that midfield area. You can see Declan Rice keeping a close eye on him. Here's Jonathan Tah. Again, Bayern looking very, very comfortable. These short, crisp passes, looking to move Arsenal from side to side. Their defensive structure will be tested today as Upamecano drives and clips that into the air for Serge Gnabry, asking a lot for the German. Can't keep that in play, not for a throw-in for Arsenal. Defensively, Arsenal, best in the Premier League, best in the Champions League. So Bayern Munich will have to showcase their A game here in front of goal. Michael Olise absolutely terrorized Chelsea at the Allianz Arena. Olise, Kane and Gnabry were a real threat that Chelsea could not cope. Kimmich off balance. Again, Bayern Munich keeping possession in tight areas here. Again, Harry Kane in his own half. Zubimendi looking to apply the pressure. Arsenal win the ball back here with the press that they've applied. Here's Bukayo Saka. Tries to get away from Jonathan Tah. Again, he's been double teamed and Kane's helping out defensively too. Brilliant from Harry Kane. Look at that, the centre forward. Nearly on par with his goalkeeper there. Just showcasing how hard Harry Kane works for his team. Serge Gnabry pushes the ball forward. It's a foot race here between Timber and Olise, which Timber wins. Here's Raya. Got chipped from the halfway line in the North London derby where Richarlison scored that outrageous goal. Ooh, there's a foul there, and I think that's Leandro Trossard who gets very fortunate. Tries to take that extra touch. You can see there Pavlovic quickly on his heels. Alexander Pavlovic, now a centerpiece in the Vincent Kompany midfield. Alongside Joshua Kimmich. Oh, Liverpool are down here. Ivan Perisic has scored from the spot. Liverpool are 1-0 down at Anfield, having lost 3-0 to Nottingham Forest in the weekend at Anfield. Is it going to be back-to-back losses at Anfield? Real Madrid are down too. What is happening in the Champions League? They're down to Olympiacos. Absolutely crazy here. Olympiacos and PSV looking to add the upset here in match week 5 in the Champions League group stage. Zubimendi dropping between the two centre halves. Declan Rice, Mikel Merino, almost taking a page out of the Harry Kane book there. Surely a foul by Jonathan Tah on young Miles Lewis-Skelly. Again, so aggressive, the Bayern centre halves. The way that they are so confident, not just with their pace, but their ability to have that recovery pace back. So comfortable. Really does allow your team to push up the pitch. Manuel Neuer, is he 39 now? Nearly 40 years of age, still Bayern Munich's first choice. Jonathan Tah again goes forward. Harry Kane has not picked up a centre forward position yet, Bayern Munich needs somebody to hold the ball in those areas. And Arsenal not really gotten into their attacking rhythm yet. First order of business is to compete here because Bayern Munich have come with a lot of confidence here. Both teams' record absolutely mirroring each other as Manuel Neuer playing sweeper keeper. Brilliant cushion header there. Great anticipation by the experienced German. Bukayo Saka might have just taken a heavy knock there. There is blood. You see Manuel Neuer had to come out and play the sweeper keeper role, which he did perfectly, but it looks like Bukayo Saka is getting a bit of collateral damage there. Can fail to see how Manuel Neuer has caught him. It's the ball that has clipped him in the face. You can see that's why he's got a bloody nose. Bukayo Saka has to quickly shake that off. We saw an absolutely crazy result. Oh, Liverpool have equalized. Dominic Szoboszlai from right back has equalized against PSV. The Liverpool fans will be a whole lot more relaxed now after that shock start. Thomas Tuchel, formerly the Bayern Munich coach, now the England manager, having a look at some of the England players in Bukayo Saka, Harry Kane, Miles Lewis-Kelly, to name a few. Just over 16 minutes on the clock. 0-0 the scoreline. Both keepers had very little to do so far. Manuel Neuer has been doing a bit of the sweeping keeping as the Arsenal fans just getting up here. Bayern Munich fans have showed up in the numbers in the away stand, trying to make a ruckus themselves. Saka's okay to continue. He's going to have a piece of cotton shoved up his nose there. It's going to be uncomfortable for him. Mikel Arteta would have seen that first 15 minutes and knows that he is very much has a game on here. Bayern with nearly 70% off the ball at the Emirates Stadium. Not many teams. I think this is the first team to do this to Arsenal in a very, very long time. Here's Upamecano. Finds Michael Olise. No overlap run for him. Back to Upamecano. Here's Alexander Pavlovic. Strong presence in midfield for Pavlovic here. Here he is again. Jonathan Tah. Good pass between the lines. Kimmich evades the press. Again committing 2 or 3 Arsenal players every time he has the ball. Here's Michael Olise. Drops the shoulder brilliantly there. That's a sure foul there by Lewis-Kelly. Trying to be touch tight. Foul there, and it's a free kick for Bayern Munich. And Michael Olise is such a tricky customer. He can go both ways. He's strong. He's agile. He's got quick feet. So it's going to be a real test for Miles Lewis-Kelly, who's played at the real top level. We saw him absolutely dominate against Real Madrid last season. He's had very little game time this season because Ricardo Calafiori has been the first choice left back. But Arteta still showing his faith with the young left back as a free kick for Bayern Munich. On that right hand side, Joshua Kimmich looking to deliver. Good ball into the box, cleared away. Good header there by Mikel Merino. Pavlovic recovers. Manuel Neuer. Cushion touch there for Serge Gnabry. Onto the right hand side. Again, Arsenal back into their defensive shape here. Very little from an attacking standpoint so far. It's all been Bayern Munich though. Leandro Trossard helping out defensively. Brilliant from Olise. It's taken a deflection. Has it gone for a corner? Yes, it has. Again, Michael Olise, such a problematic customer for Arsenal. You can see Leandro Trossard helping out defensively because defending 1v1 against Michael Olise is a risky tactic. See, Lewis-Kelly has already committed a foul. He won't have too many of them before the yellow card has been brandished. So you can see Trossard helping out. Rain just starting to pour here at the Emirates Stadium. Slick conditions here in London as the corner delivers with a lot of air. Upamecano's header. Well, he was unmarked. He can't direct that on target. Goal kick for Arsenal, but first chance for Bayern Munich. Again, good block there from Stanisic. He's very clever, isn't he? Blocks Jurriën Timber. And Upamecano just peels away to the far stick to get his header. That's on target. Could have been very interesting instead. Just out for a goal kick. Again, look at Bayern's high press here. Both players, Carl and Harry Kane, in the box, forcing David Raya to go long. Good header there by Mikel Merino, but again, it's Jonathan Tah and Upamecano who just deal with it so comfortably. The two centre-halves, oh, as you say about comfort, they let it go and Arsenal cannot capitalise. Konrad Laimer, Pavlovic, anywhere will do. Good header there by Zubomendi. Bukayo Saka has lost out to Pavlovic. Brilliant from Alexander Pavlovic. Konrad Laimer loses out onto the right-hand side. Zubomendi, might be a corner here for Arsenal. It is. You can see Zubomendi just being a bit more attacking here, not staying between the centre-halves, pushing higher up the pitch, trying to add up the numbers there. As you can see, the last touch clearly came off the Austrian fullback. Corner for Arsenal, just over 20 minutes on the clock. Tight game, it's going to be fine margins, isn't it? Almost feel like this game just might be decided by a solitary goal. Corner for Arsenal. No Gabriel Magalhaes. Arsenal need a new weapon in the box. The captain for the night, Bukayo Saka, looks to deliver this in-swinger with pace and whip. Saka delivers. Good ball into the box. Oh my word, it's Jurrien Timber. 1-0 to Arsenal with their first opportunity. It's a corner again for Arsenal, which they've taken full advantage of. And Bayern Munich, having played all the football in the first 20 minutes, find themselves down a goal at the Emirates Stadium. Brilliant delivery by Bukayo Saka. Jurrien Timber attacks it. Completely unmarked. He's not known for his height, but he does have a great spring on him. Fantastic leap. And Arsenal have the lead. Saka's delivery is pinpoint. You can see there Manuel Neuer commits, doesn't get anywhere near it. And Jurrien Timber completely unmarked from very close range. Nods that home. Bayern Munich down a goal. Having played all the football, it's Arsenal who take the surprise lead at the Emirates Stadium. Mikel Arteta, he has so many ways to hurt you as an opposition. Manuel Neuer admitting that that was his mistake, does not judge the flight of the ball. Bukayo Saka's delivery is absolutely brilliant. And the home team are 1-0 up. We talked about Arsenal needing to find new weapons in the box in the absence of Gabriel Magalhaes. And they've found that in Jurrien Timber. And now Arsenal can settle in a lot better. Here's Upamecano, put under pressure. Again, Arsenal win the ball. Oh, that's a reckless challenge by Dayot Upamecano. And the first yellow card of the match goes to the French centre-half. Well, trying to show his confidence with dribbling the ball. It's a heavy touch. Once he loses out, it's a rash challenge on Christian Mosquera. It's such a clever run this by Jurrien Timber. Just a bit of a block on Manuel Neuer. Just to unsettle him there. Very clever. Once he gets there, he just has to nod home from close range. There's enough pace on the ball. All he has to do is get a bit of a contact, which he does. Christian Mosquera back on his feet here as Arsenal have another free kick here. Upamecano with the yellow card. Well, Arsenal and set pieces. A marriage made in heaven under Mikel Arteta. They continue to exploit the opposition weaknesses here as Declan Rice looks to whip this one in. Bayern holding a high line. Good ball into the box. Good header away. Oh, it's a misjudged clearance on a couple of occasions there by Pavlovic. Saka holds off the challenge of Konrad Laimer as a long ball forward, easily gathered by the Bayern skipper. Again decides to go long. Arsenal can look to just soak up the pressure here now. Get about 9 men behind the ball to make sure that Bayern don't get the equalizer in the first half. Here's Neuer. Finds Jonathan Tah. Pavlovic. Again, Arsenal with the full press here. Oh my word, that pass by Pavlovic was so risky. There's Dio Upamecano. Has to walk the tightrope here. Cannot afford to be rash. Has to play with a level of calmness now as Neuer once again forced to go long. Timber wins that header. Throw in for Bayern Munich. Well, 25 minutes on the clock. Arsenal with the 1-0 lead. Having completed just 41 passes in the match so far. Just shows you that Arsenal are so dangerous even when they don't have the ball. Manuel Neuer has an interesting moustache. Interesting fashion choice for the German keeper. Again, pressure. Well applied. Ball's gone. Joshua Kimmich taking a sore run there by Mikel Merino. Well, Mikel Arteta spoke about how Kai Havertz and Gabriel Jesus getting closer and closer to being back on the bench for Arsenal. Still no Victor Gyökeres. That's 3 strikers that Arsenal are missing. And still find a way to score goals. Kimmich goes long. Good header there by Timber. Zubimendi goes back to... Well, David Raya would have been in trouble there, but the header by William Saliba was excellent. Just a cushion flick-on header. Here's Declan Rice. Lovely pass between the lines there to Mikel Merino, dropping very deep a la Harry Kane. Trossard on the left-hand side. Look at Declan Rice busting a gut to get forward. Here he is on the overlap. Trossard on the left-hand side. Miles Lewis-Skelly. Low cross in, cleared away. Again, Bayern very calmly deal with that situation. It's Arsenal's turn now to dominate territory and possession now. Here's Saliba. Christian Mosquera. Declan Rice. Almost as an auxiliary left back here, allowing Miles Lewis-Skelly to venture forward. David Raya has not had any saves to make so far. That's how good Arsenal are defensively. Even though Bayern had all that possession and territory, haven't been able to muster a shot here. You can see Vincent Kompany. A bit of a spring in his step here as he's playing ball boy. He wants his team to get back and level peggings as quickly as possible. Arsenal can take that lead heading into half-time and be feeling a whole lot better. Here's Jonathan Tah, risky pass, but Pavlovic deals with that well. Here's Tah again, driving forward with his strength and carrying abilities. Again, it's an errant pass. Bayern are not able to stitch that final pass in the final third so far. Harry Kane has been fairly anonymous. The quality that he has, all he needs is one good chance in the box and he can really punish you. Look at where Serge Gnabry is. Almost as a centre-back in that attack. Here's Stanisic. Again, calm this from Bayern Munich. Upamecano. We've seen very little of the Arsenal attackers here. Ebreze has been pretty much anonymous. Haven't seen him get on the ball whatsoever. Bukayo Saka has tried to take on a few Bayern players. Trossard has showcased a bit of defensive nous. Again, that's very strong play there from Stanisic. Here's Jonathan Tah. Upamecano. Pavlovic. Onto the right-hand side. Here's Joshua Kimmich. Clip pass there for Harry Kane. Good defending there by Christian Mosquera. Declan Rice mops up. Goes all the way back to David Raya. Here's Martin Zubimendi. The metronome for Arsenal. Lovely quick passes. Great exchange. Here's Ebreze. First time really we've seen him have a bit of impact here. Here's Lewis-Skelly. Declan Rice. Onto the left-hand side for Leandro Trossard. Trying to go around the outside. Good defending again there by Stanisic. Last touch comes off the Belgian. Throw in for Bayern Munich. Into the 30th minute. Bayern yet to test David Raya. That's something that they have to remedy in the last 15 minutes of the first half here. Arsenal with that set-piece goal. Jurriën Timber on the score sheet. think he scored 2 goals in the Premier League, if I'm not mistaken, both against Nottingham Forest. Or was that against Leeds? Please correct me in the live comments. Good touch there. Upamecano again showcasing his composure. Carl nearly finds Harry Kane. Lovely first touch there by Bukayo Saka. It's Mikel Merino. It's Ebreze. Oh, it's just wide. He could have squared that to Bukayo Saka. Decided to go for goal himself. And Arsenal nearly turned defense into attack with one pass. Bayern Munich do not deal with that. That is brilliant from Saka. Oh, there was a chance there for Ebreze. Look at this for a nutmeg on Dayot Upamecano. Such a clever pass by Mikel Merino. Just looks to open the body and curl that into the far corner. Neither found the corner nor found Bukayo Saka. That's an errant pass by Harry Kane, but Bayern win the ball back quickly. Arsenal have come the closest in terms of adding the next goal in the match. Pavlovic, Kimmich to Jonathan Tah. Well, that 22nd minute goal by Jurrien Timber, the difference maker in this heavyweight clash at the Emirates Stadium. Stanisic finds Upamecano to Jonathan Tah. The centre-halves have had a lot of touches on the ball here, the two Bayern centre-halves. Here's Tah again. And looking to venture forward. Arsenal quickly back into their defensive shape. Konrad Laimer. Michael Olise is on the left-hand side. Here's Tah again. Bayern Munich rather. Quite pedestrian on the ball, and then it switches out brilliantly. Oh, what a pass! And it's 1-1! It's the youngster Carl, and Bayern Munich open up Arsenal just like that. That is a special pass to open up the Arsenal defense. The first time ball into the box is excellent, and Leonard Carl from close range beats David Raya, and Bayern Munich in no time are back level. Sensational goal. Look at this pass by Joshua Kimmich. Serge Gnabry is onside. Such a good pass. This is a cushion touch. That finish is not easy whatsoever. He's had to get over the ball, which he does. And the 17-year-old scores in this mammoth Champions League clash. Vincent Kompany knows that is a massive moment. Leonard Carl, all of 17 years of age, making a big impact there. That goal comes from Joshua Kimmich. A quarterback-like pass between the two centre-halves opens up Arsenal. And now we're level. Now we've got a game on. Bayern Munich just showcasing what a deadly team they are. They've got so many weapons themselves, don't they? 17-year-old Leonard Carl, where we saw the battle yesterday between Lamine Yamal and Esteban Willian, both 18 years of age. Leonard Carl, look at him, exuding confidence now after that goal. Again, a big pass forward. Harry Kane brings it down, and the two centre-halves deal with him nicely here. Bayern Munich might find a lot of joy with these clip passes between the two centre-halves. Here's Trossard to Saliba. That's an errant pass. Again, the pressure now back onto Arsenal. This game is like a pendulum here, swinging both sides. That was a smashing goal, man. Beautiful football. The cushion pass by Gnabry is so good. You can so easily get that wrong. Because you're having to do it first time. Has to be perfect, and it was. And Leonard Carl, I mean, talk about a confident finish. Whew. Brilliant. Again, look at Serge Gnabry. He's giving the ball back away here. And Bukayo Saka, the two number 7s tangling there. Again, Serge Gnabry finding himself as a left back. Did well in terms of his positioning, but nearly cushioned that back header to Bukayo Saka. Carl's touch is so good there under pressure. Here's Harry Kane. Decides to keep it short here for Jonathan Tah, who switches it on to the right-hand side. A magnificent pass. It's a brilliant touch here from Stanisic. He's got support. Stanisic goes for goal and he's pulled that wide. Well, the better option was to try and find Michael Olise. Stanisic says that he couldn't see the pass. Well, in a matter of seconds, both sides nearly scoring the second here. Stanisic has to go for the cutback to Michael Olise. Decides to go for goal himself. Again, Bayern Munich using that long diagonal to their benefit here. Arsenal have to be careful here when they are pressing on the front foot. Bayern Munich can just open them up with a lovely pass. Well, looks like Arsenal have an injury problem here. 35 minutes on the clock. It is Leandro Trossard who's gone to ground here. Noni Madueke has been asked to warm up. Leonard Carl scoring at the Emirates Stadium. This pass from Joshua Kimmich is the one that makes the game. Great finish by Carl too. I mean, on his left foot to take that first time. Means that you need so much confidence to course through your veins. Absolutely game on now. Leandro Trossard might be struggling here. Whether or not might seem like a calf issue here. I don't think Mikel Arteta will be taking any chance. Just before that big game against Chelsea, it seems that Leandro Trossard will miss that game, and it's Noni Madueke now will be on the left-hand side. Trossard is walking off, which means that might not be as serious as Arteta and Arsenal would have feared, but it's a precautionary substitution by the looks of it. Trossard off, Noni Madueke on for Arsenal. On that left-hand side, it's going to be a different problem for Stanisic to solve here. Madueke has got pace to burn on that left-hand side. Noni Madueke. Well, he did suffer with that injury after his decent start to life at Arsenal. That knee injury sidelined him for a good part of 4 to 5 weeks. Trossard goes straight down the tunnel. Be very disappointed, especially in this big week against Bayern and then Chelsea on Sunday. You saw Kompany's reaction to that Bayern equalizer. He knows that that goal was so important, and his faith, his trust in the 17-year-old rewarded. Is that the first goal that Arsenal have conceded in the Champions League? I think it is, you know. Lovely turn there by Miles Lewis-Kelly. Olise helps out. Foul has been given. Michael Olise a bit befuddled that the foul was given. Arsenal looking to take that quickly here. This first half has really flown by. There's been so many interesting subplots in this match. Arsenal scoring with a set piece. Bayern Munich opening up Arsenal in supreme fashion. Enzo Maresca needs to take notes here. How Bayern Munich are utilizing their long balls against Arsenal. Saka loses out to Lima. Harry Kane, beautiful turn away from Saliba. He doesn't have the pace, but he's got the IQ and he keeps the ball very nicely. Lima, Kimmich, here's Jonathan Tah. Again, familiar from what we saw in the early stages of this match where Bayern Munich having most of the ball here. Here's Michael Olise. Stanisic, back to Olise. Lewis-Kelly in close attendance. Stanisic finds Upamecano. Only yellow card in the match so far for the French centre-back. Here's Olise. Looking to drop the shoulder against Lewis-Kelly. Goes on the outside. Cross comes into the box. Serge Gnabry. His first touch would have had to be ridiculous to try and get that. It was over his shoulder. Another throw in here for Bayern Munich. Into the 40th minute. 1-1 the scoreline. Arsenal in open play. Need to do a bit more here. Just the 10 minutes between the two goals. Timber scoring in the 22nd minute. Carl scoring in the 32nd. Brilliant from Saliba again. Declan Rice finds Bukayo Saka. Shields the ball nicely to Jurrien Timber, the goal scorer for Arsenal. 5 minutes plus stoppage time remaining in the first half. Here's Christian Mosquera. Big week here for Arsenal. North London derby, Bayern Munich midweek, and then Chelsea on Sunday. If they win all three, you just feel like this is the season where Arsenal make that gigantic leap towards silverware under Mikel Arteta. Here's Ebreze. Came the closest in terms of open play for Arsenal with his scuffed effort. Noni Madueke has to get to the game speed as quickly as possible. Playing on that left-hand side with Saka on the right. Arsenal have real pace now on both flanks. Well, Arteta will have identified that his team have been outplayed in terms of possession and territory in this first half. Bayern Munich pretty much with their first attempt on goal, finding the back of the net. But other than that, Arsenal defensively have been very good. Really needed a top moment of quality to open up their defense. Here's Saka. William Saliba, who's been really good in terms of his attacking positions that he's picked up. Zubimendi finds Declan Rice. See, Rice is popping up all over the pitch too, almost as a right-sided centre-back here before he makes his way into midfield. Raya goes long. Well, that's a mismatch there between Diogo Upamecano and Ebreze. Bayern play out quite comfortably there. Here's Elise again looking for that switch out there. Ooh, Harry Kane nearly found Leonard Carl there. Arsenal have to be careful, especially with the second balls. Here's Saliba. Lovely turn there by Bukayo Saka. Gets away from Konrad Laimer. He will pick up a booking here. Two of the back four have been booked for Bayern Munich. First one was Diogo Upamecano, and now the left back Konrad Laimer. Cynical foul there on the Arsenal skipper. I think even Mikel Arteta has picked up a yellow card for the dissent shown. He just had to be a bit patient there, and the yellow card was arriving. Mikel Arteta, known to wear his heart on his sleeve, picks up a booking himself. Well, 2 minutes plus added on time remain in this first half. Such an intriguing game of football here. So many different subplots. On the left-hand side, here's Lewis Kelly. And caught in a cul-de-sac again. There's nowhere to go. Zubimendi. Again, very press resistance. You can see Joshua Kimmich trying to press him there. Lovely pass by Declan Rice. Here's Bukayo Saka. William Saliba once again on his marauding run forward. The two French centre-backs on display here. Saliba and Diogo Upamecano. Here's Madueke with his first involvement here since coming on for Leandro Trossard. Here's Zubimendi. Switches it on to the right-hand side. Asks a lot from Jurrien Timber. Good ball into the box. And that was very close. And Arsenal using Bayern Munich's weapon there. Try and open up the defense. Good ball into the box. You can see Noni Madueke just ushered out of the way there by Diogo Upamecano. Final minute of normal time at the Emirates Stadium. Jurrien Timber scoring the 22nd minute. Leonard Carl 10 minutes later with a superb team goal, equalizing. Emmanuel Neuer will be feeling a whole lot better that His mistake has been atoned for. Another long ball into the channel. What a touch that is from Carl. This is a special youngster that we're watching on display here. It's Michael Olise on the right-hand side. Drops the shoulder onto the right. Asking a lot from chance here for Harry Kane. Can he get the shot away? He's off balance. Oh, the clearance is really a mess there. And it could have ricocheted right into the path of Harry Kane. We're into stoppage time here in the first half. Saliba's clearance came off his own teammate and nearly fell into the path of Harry Kane. We're into 3 minutes of added on time here. Madueke shows his strength to get away from Stanisic. Brilliant from Madueke. And waits for support. Here's Bukayo Saka. Saka again looking for the cross into the box. Delays it. Edge of the box here for Declan Rice. Looks for the cross. Well defended there by Alexander Pavlovich. Leonard Carl helping out defensively. It's a throw in for Arsenal. What's up, Manny? Kya chal raha hai? Good game. Very good game. Leonard Carl. That touch is outrageous, man. Absolutely brilliant. It's okay, brother. You're here. That's all that matters. The Bayern Munich supporters, that end, trying to make a ruckus here. 2 minutes of added on time remaining. Cleared away. Here's Ebreze. Finds Bukayo Saka. Halfway through stoppage time. Well, yeah, we're all hoping for a Harry Kane goal here. He's been a bit pedestrian. Oh, that's a great run there by Declan Rice. Well defended again by Bayern Munich. Harry Kane has been dropping far too deep. He's yet to really affect the play in the box for Bayern Munich in this first half so far. Seen Mikel Merino do the same for Arsenal. Both centre forwards not spend enough time in the box. And the Bayern Munich fans in full voice here. Great atmosphere. Champions League nights, especially with two big teams in the form that they've been in. You know it's going to be a firecracker of a game. The second half is so well poised here. Arsenal need to do a bit more in terms of open play attacking. Yes, Bayern Munich are defensively very well drilled and under Vincent Kompany. Mikel Arteta would be a bit concerned. Timber goal, Saka assist. I wish this was last weekend for my FPL team. Manny, you're a traitor. You cannot have Arsenal players in your FPL. You'll be rooting for them. You'll be celebrating if they score against Chelsea, wouldn't they? Can't do it. You can't do it, Manny. Last 10 seconds of first half added on time. It's been a fantastic watch, man. There are so many interesting battles on the pitch as the referee blows the whistle for what has been an excellent first half here at the Emirates Stadium. The top two have gone hammer and tongs, and after Urian Timber scored in the 22nd minute courtesy of the corner, Leonard Carl scored the best goal of the match. Joshua Kimmich's quarterback-like pass found on the right-hand side for Serge Gnabry's first-time pass for the 17-year-old Leonard Carl to smash that home 1-1 at the Emirates Stadium. Hi Shagun, what's up? Are you a football fan now? Thanks for tuning in. Aman says, gotta have some winners in the team. Well, they need to do a little bit more in terms of open play attacking. I think with Noni Madueke on the left-hand side, Arsenal have a bit more impetus going forward. I think Stanisic had a very comfortable game at right back against Leandro Trossard, but now with Madueke, it's going to be a different proposition for him. Quarterback-like pass, spoken like a true American sports presenter. Yes. Yes, Shagun, one step at a time. It's the beautiful game after all. Start taking a few notes from Manny, and you have to support Chelsea. I mean, there's no option here. Just have a look as to the other score lines. I saw that Liverpool and PSV were 1-1. Whether or not that stayed the same. Real Madrid were trailing to Olympiacos. Well, Liverpool are 3-1 up with a Kylian Mbappe first half hat-trick. No such problems for Real Madrid. Liverpool PSV 1-1. Spurs PSG 1-1-2. Good play from Spurs. Really didn't expect that, especially at the Parc des Princes, considering that turgid performance that they had against Arsenal at the weekend. Against the Champions League holders, if they are able to get any sort of result, be a fantastic one for Thomas Frank. We saw them in the Super Cup where PSG really broke Spurs' heart later on. Was that Gonzalo Ramos goal right at the end after Spurs had taken the lead, but two late goals snatched the Super Cup away from them. And he says Shagun's a United fan as a kid. She's not a kid anymore. Now she has a brain, a fully functional brain. Cannot be supporting United. Well, Richarlison and Vitinha, the two goal scorers in the PSG Spurs game. Ivan Perisic from the spot opened the scoring for PSV, and Dominic Szoboszlai 10 minutes later equalized for Liverpool. They need a result here after some horrific performances in the league. It's almost like the Champions League has been a safe haven for Arne Slot. What do I think about Kolo Muani playing against his parent club and assisting? Is it a loan with an obligation to buy? If that's the case, I think that decision is fine. I remember Thibaut Courtois started against us in 2013. Chelsea versus Atletico Madrid in the semi-finals of the Champions League. Chelsea, of course, got knocked out in the semis. It was Diego Simeone in his pomp against Jose Mourinho. Thibaut Courtois was magnificent, making some brilliant saves. So there has been a precedent set. Kolo Muani, of course, not getting the opportunity to really showcase his talent for PSG, especially with the front line that they've got. Ousmane Dembele, the Ballon d'Or winner, is on the bench. Desiree Doué and Ashraf Hakimi nursing long-term injuries. But for Arsenal, they've been totally dominated in terms of possession. Have to try and get that sorted as quickly as possible in the second half. We need to see a bit more from both centre forwards. I mean, they've been dropping painfully deep to try and affect and help out their team's build-up, but you want to see the strikers in the box out there. Manny, I don't know if you're being sarcastic or not, but thanks. Yep, Manuel Neuer. You could see that was a very clever bit of blocking there by Merino and Jurrien Timber. You see that Manuel Neuer just wanted to come out flying and get his gloves on it. His momentum was checked. Once he was unsettled, you could just see him just flapping in the air. But Bayern Munich's equalizer was just beautiful, beautiful football. You see a lot of passes being exchanged by both teams. Sometimes a bit of direct play can yield real success. This pass from Joshua Kimmich is so good. I mean, talk about putting it on a plate, and Serge Gnabry's assist. Put it on a plate for Leonard Carl too. So two outstanding passes to open up the Arsenal back line. Not many teams are able to do that. I think this is the first goal that Arsenal have conceded in the Champions League, and it needed something very special, and it took a 17-year-old to open up the Arsenal defense. Bayern Munich, they've got two players in their back line, both with a yellow card. Konrad Laimer and Dayo Upamecano picking up those yellows. I don't see Upamecano being subbed at any point, but on the left-hand side, Bayern Munich can introduce someone like Rafa Guerrero. He's a more natural left back because Konrad Laimer, for all his good defensive capabilities, does not have the pace and trickery. Especially, I mean, he's a midfielder at Leipzig, then played right back for Vincent Kompany, and now he's playing left back, just showcasing his versatility in the team. But you do limit yourself when you are playing someone out of position. Well, Bayern Munich have successfully used the long ball tactic against the Arsenal press, but they are not just hit and hope long balls. These are very measured in terms of getting it absolutely spot on with the pass. Michael Olise has threatened but hasn't really made an impact in the box, but he really is capable of just opening you up with a pass or a shot. Miles Lewis-Kelly doing very well to make sure that he put the clamps on the Frenchman. Michael Olise fully expected to start for France in the World Cup. I mean, France's attacking trio of Dembele, Mbappe, Olise, to name just their three, is such a frightening proposition. Always a favourite heading into an international tournament with the depth that they have in all positions. I thought Leonard Carl showed some outstanding touches in the first half, completely unfazed from what's been presented against him in this massive Champions League clash. Well, Christian Mosquera alongside William Saliba, good centre-half pairing. Surprised that Piero Hincapié didn't start. Having a look at some of the goals in the other games. Very basics goal there by Tottenham. Get the ball into the box, attack. They've done exactly that. Richarlison's close range header, and Vitinha, oh my goodness me, that is outrageous from Vitinha. He has no right to strike that ball that good first time. He cuts across it. It's top bins. My goodness, that is technically superb by the Portuguese midfielder. You can see why he finished top 5 in the Ballon d'Or rankings this year. What about the Liverpool and the PSV game? PSV opened the scoring courtesy of a penalty. Oh my goodness, the handball by Virgil van Dijk is schoolboy. It's almost like he's appealing in the air. That is shocking. And the fact that he was appealing that there's something off, really poor. And Perisic's penalty, isn't he a left footer? I mean, he's taking a right foot pen. He's like Dembele, isn't it? So proficient with both feet. And Liverpool's goal had a touch of fortune attached to it, as Cody Gakpo's shot was well blocked by the goalkeeper but fell straight into the path of Dominic Szoboszlai. Just had to take that first time finish. Olympiacos opened the scoring. Oh my goodness, there's been some unbelievable goals in the Champions League. Olympiacos' goal was special. And then it was all about Kylian Mbappe's hat-trick. First goal, keeper would be slightly disappointed. But Kylian Mbappe's ball striking is pretty much a cheat code. Ooh, the header as well. Very rarely see Kylian Mbappe scoring a bullet header and then being opened up. That is suicide defending really by PSV. You cannot be doing that. Trying to play offside against Kylian Mbappe. You're in so much risk. Well, there have been goals in match week 5 of the Champions League. Of course, Chelsea put 3 past Barcelona yesterday. Newcastle lost 2-1 to Marseille. Manchester City lost 2-0 to Bayer Leverkusen at home. Pep Guardiola making 10 changes to his side, especially when they have Leeds United at the weekend. That was a surprising move by Pep Guardiola and had completely backfired. There have been goals galore in the Champions League. It should be a really fun second half here at the Emirates Stadium. Arsenal will need to take care of the ball a bit more better. Try and push Bayern Munich into their own half. With Noni Madueke on the left-hand side, might force someone like Stanisic not to be bombing forward now that there's a real threat of pace behind him. Could see him in the first half. He was happy to make the overlap, knowing that Leandro Trossard isn't really going to burst away in terms of pace. But now with Madueke, have to be a bit more careful. Vincent Kompany's stocks as a manager really has gone up levels in the 2 years, the 18 months rather, that he's been at Bayern Munich. They're very much on course for back-to-back Bundesliga crowns. But the higher-ups will want Vincent Kompany and Bayern to make that extra step forward in the Champions League. Minimum semi-finals from Bayern Munich would be the ask there, and from there it's all about playing well in the 2 legs. Well, the 2 sets of players back on the pitch here. Massive 45 minutes coming up here to conclude match week 5 in the Champions League. Leonard Karl with the goal of the match. As Vincent Kompany would have been very pleased with the way the first half went in terms of dominating territory and possession. Very few teams do that, especially at the Emirates Stadium. Leonard Karl showed some delicious touches. The way that he brought down that ball with that Cruyff turn really will be on the highlight reel. The players are back. The referee has had a final look. We're all but set for the start of the second half here. Massive 45 minutes coming up for the top 2 teams in the UEFA Champions League group stages, as we are off and running for the start of the second half. Jurrien Timber opened the scoring for Arsenal, and Leonard Karl 10 minutes later got the equalizers. Bayern Munich dominated territory and possession in that first half. Mikel Arteta will be urging his team to make improvements. They have to be a lot more braver on the ball and might need to show a bit less respect to Bayern Munich. They have dropped off, in the way that Bayern Munich have played out the back has been very admirable. Well, 2 yellow cards in the first half. One for Dayot Upamecano and one for Konrad Laimer. As for Arsenal, no yellow cards, but had to make a substitution with Leandro Trossard picking up that knock, which means Noni Madueke, now the left winger. Michael Olise had a quiet first half compared to his lofty standards. Fully expect him to turn it on in the second half. Need more from Kane too. Far away from the box for most of that first half. Here's Olise. Finds Stanisic. The midfield pairing of Pavlovic and Joshua Kimmich has been outstanding for Bayern Munich. There's Pavlovic. Finds Konrad Laimer. And look where Harry Kane is. Almost like a left winger. Pavlovic goes back to Manuel Neuer. Made that mistake for the Arsenal goal. Coming out to try and clean the corner, but it's caught in no man's land for Jurrien Timber to knock it down from close range. Here's the goal scorer for Bayern Munich, Leonard Karl. Showcasing his composure on the ball. Neuer goes long again. Again, Karl's touch nearly gets away from Noni Madueke. Brilliant there from Arsenal, nearly getting the chance fashion. It's fallen to Bukayo Saka. That is a fizzing effort from the Arsenal captain. That was travelling. Great effort there. This pass from Joshua Kimmich is criminal because it falls straight into the path of Bukayo Saka, who does not need a second invitation. Manuel Neuer standing tall, getting a firm wrist to it. Another corner here for Arsenal. It was the Bukayo Saka corner that did the damage in the first half. This time decides to play it short. Combines with Eze. It's Saka's in the box. Lays it off for Ebre Eze. Now the clip pass into the box. Arsenal do not work that corner well. And they should be able to clear. Oh, that's a dodgy clearance there from Stanisic. Harry Kane switched on there. Make sure his cushion header. Oh, what a pass and instant control there for Michael Olise. The way he just kills the ball dead. Ball travelling at the rate of knots in the air. Beautiful play this from Bayern Munich. Oh, that might be a foul. The referee says the ball was won first. And Ebre Eze looking to just burst past the challenge. Upamecano. Good pass onto the left-hand side. Here's Serge Gnabry, who got the assist for the first goal. Now to take on Jurrien Timber there. Just looking to slip Harry Kane in. Easily into the hands of David Raya. Here's Zubomendi. Declan Rice. Heavy touch. Jonathan Tah has to be careful. Did lunge in there. No yellow card. And Jonathan Tah and Dayot Upamecano have been picking up aggressive positions, really following the Arsenal attackers wherever they go on the pitch. It's a very clever pass here to Bukayo Saka. He's got Konrad Laimer to beat, and Laimer does well, but it's another corner for Arsenal. Set pieces just starting to build up in numbers here for the Gunners. Looks like if the first half is any indication, Arsenal will be relying heavily on the set pieces, but a better start to the second half here for the home side. Trying to be a lot more braver on the ball. Press Bayern Munich, force them to go long every time with the ball. Saka's in-swinger will be devilish here. Saka on that far side. He's got some big targets to aim at. Saliba, Mosquera, and Declan Rice all there. Saka delivers. Good header there by Harry Kane. There's a foul spotted here from the referee. Let's have a look what's happened here. Manuel Neuer. It looks like it is Mikel Merino has just shoved Serge Gnabry to the ground here. Manuel Neuer is convinced that the foul had to be blown against the Gunners. Instead, it will be take two with the corner. 5 minutes into the second half. 1-1 the scoreline. Vincent Kompany not happy with that, and if Arsenal are to score from this situation, his blood will be absolutely boiling. Saka to deliver. Mikel Merino is completely unmarked here. Now makes his late run into the box. Mikel Merino! What a save! And on the follow-up, it still stays alive. Jurrien Timber's effort. It's well blocked. Arsenal looking to lay siege here at the Bayern goal. And Bayern clear that away. Here's Ebreze. Clever pass onto the right-hand side. Mikel Merino on his weaker right foot. Tries to pull the trigger. Well over the crossbar. Well, you can see there Mikel Merino completely unmarked. He's got 3, 4, 5 steps before he can get his header to it. That is poor from Bayern Munich. They nearly concede from yet another corner. Good defending there by Jonathan Tah, who had to really get something on it. Well, Arsenal still threatening so much with their set pieces. Bayern Munich have yet to really figure it out. There you have it. 2 attempts on target for Arsenal, both from set pieces. Bayern Munich scoring with their only shot on target, courtesy of Leonard Carl. Good pass there by Manuel Neuer. Mosquera really went aggressively on that occasion. Throw in for Bayern Munich. Looking for an opening here on the right-hand side. Well, Stanisic so far hasn't had to deal with Noni Madueke's pace. Harry Kane just conducting the orchestra here. Again in the middle of the park. Here's Kimmich under pressure. Bukayo Saka clips the ball forward for Madueke. Look who's there as a defensive midfielder. It's Harry Kane with the interception. Here's Elise. He's got a bit of time to run here. Decides to drift infield. Lovely shake of the shoulder there. Surely a foul there by Martin Zubimendi. He'll be very fortunate to avoid a booking. And this is what you want to see from Michael Elise. Pick the ball up. Be positive. And look to drive at the Arsenal defense. Not just hug the touchline. He's so destructive in those half spaces. Free kick for Bayern Munich will be Joshua Kimmich. They have a completely different setup to how Arsenal do when they have set pieces. Kane tried to isolate against Merino. Oh, that's a poor ball there by Joshua Kimmich. Easy grab there by Raya and a quick release, and Declan Rice eats the ground up here and he carries this brilliantly forward. Declan Rice now looking for the cross in. It's a nothing cross really, but comes off Konrad Laimer, and it's another corner for Arsenal. Well, set pieces seems to be Arsenal's way to attack the Bayern Munich goal. Bukayo Saka's in-swingers from that side, particularly dangerous. Bayern have to defend the situation better because the last chance for Mikel Merino could have been dangerous for Bayern Munich. Nearly 10 minutes into the second half. Arsenal have been slightly better in terms of controlling Bayern Munich. Again, Merino unmarked. Madueke unmarked. Ebreze, edge of the box, unmarked. Ball into the box. Good header there by Kane again. Really is making some important defensive contributions here. Bukayo Saka whips that in. Header! Oh, it's straight at Manuel Neuer. Mikel Merino. There was plenty of pace on the ball here. Just uses that pace to try and get that on target. Elise wins his header. Here's Serge Gnabry. Oh, that's a terrible pass. Asking a lot from Konrad Laimer. Jonathan Tah finds Joshua Kimmich. Beautiful pass there to Leonard Carl. Drops the shoulder, gets away from Miles Lewis-Skelly brilliantly here. Carl is in the box. He's got options. Leonard Carl! Oh, he could have gone for the curler. Instead, it's straight down the middle. Easy save for David Raya. Leonard Carl just skins Miles Lewis-Skelly there. He's picking up some dangerous positions himself here, the goal scorer. It's a brilliant pass there by Raya to Saka, who holds it off nicely. Here's Eze to Noni Madueke. The two summer signings looking to combine. Wonderful work there to close him down immediately. You can see the Bayern attackers working so hard defensively, knowing that they have to put in a shift here because Arsenal can physically overpower you, overwhelm you if you do not commit numbers. Here's Declan Rice. Noni Madueke on his favoured left foot. Might get another corner, but Stanisic does well. But can't prevent the corner. Yet another corner for Arsenal. They're dealing in set pieces here. Well, it's been all about Bukayo Saka and his corners in the match. Change in angle with Declan Rice's right-footed in-swinger now, looking to unsettle the Bayern backline. Bayern have to be switched on here. Declan Rice delivers. Great whip on the ball. And the header's just off target. It's Mikel Merino again. Bayern Munich cannot cope with Arsenal's physical presence. Oh, that should be 2-1. Having got there, gotten a firm header on it. He beats Upamecano in the air. That is very close. Bayern are so fortunate that Merino's header was not on target. Declan Rice's whip delivery from the corners is a cheat code, man. Bayern survive. Again, they've not been able to figure out the Arsenal set-piece routine here. It's the in-swinger every time. They cannot cope. Here's Gnabry. Most playing as an auxiliary left-back. Manuel Neuer. Looking to try and bypass the Arsenal press. Madueke shows his strength against Michael Olise. Trying to go around the outside. Ooh, that might be a foul there by Dayot Upamecano, who's on a yellow card. He has to be careful. That is his final warning. Dayot Upamecano trying to just nick the ball off Noni Madueke. He cannot be doing that again. Well, whether or not Vincent Kompany will decide to... Ooh, that is so fortunate for Dayot Upamecano. He misses the ball. It's another yellow card by the looks of it. Well, both coaches have picked up a yellow. Mikel Arteta and Vincent Kompany both picking up yellow cards. Kompany and Arteta were in the Manchester City setup when they were dominating English football. Kompany the captain. Mikel Arteta the assistant manager. Pep Guardiola looking at this match with both his students at the big stage here. Declan Rice's delivery. Another magnificent ball into the box. Arsenal are getting closer and closer. It's Christian Mosquera this time. Bayern Munich have no answer to the Declan Rice ball in here. Brilliant whip delivery. Mosquera, having gotten there, gets his header. Is this a save from... Yes, it is. It's a brilliant save. Manuel Neuer is there. It's a corner for Arsenal again. They are bombarding Bayern Munich with these set pieces. It's been relentless from the Gunners. Declan Rice's delivery again. Good whip. Well cleared. Oh, Lewis Kelly's pass is very poor, and he's very fortunate that Bayern Munich don't attack on the counter-attack here. 30 minutes remaining at the Emirates Stadium. Here's Declan Rice. Closed down by Stanisic. Here's Harry Kane. He's been bundled over. Again, Kane is just everywhere except the centre forward position. Bayern Munich have had nobody to really hold the ball up. Again, the long ball by Manuel Neuer, trying to bypass the Arsenal press. No luck on that occasion. Here's Madueke. Upamecano has to be careful. He's literally on his last warning. Here's Christian Mosquera. Zubimendi. William Saliba venturing forward. Good pass between the lines to Mikel Merino. Here's the goal scorer for Arsenal, Jurrien Timber. Arsenal with better possession in the second half here. There you have it. Possession stats has been cut down. Bayern had nearly 70% of the ball in the first half. Now the possession 60-40 in favor of the away side. Well, Arsenal will look to put everything in here to try and get the second goal. They have that big test against Chelsea on Sunday, travelling to Stamford Bridge. Chelsea beating Burnley at the weekend 2-0, beating Barcelona 3-0. Brilliant touch here from Declan Rice on the left-hand side. He's got options, might go for goal himself. Declan Rice, brilliant save! Oh my word, that is tremendous for Manuel Neuer. How did he keep that out? Declan Rice with a marauding run forward. Nobody closing him down. Decides to take a shot himself. And nearly, very nearly, giving the Gunners the lead. Here's Stanisic. That's a poor pass. Can't find Harry Kane. Bayern Munich have to wake up here. It's been all Arsenal in the second half. Again, Lima, who's on a yellow card, he has to be careful as well. He's made a foul on Bukayo Saka. Oh, that is tremendous from Manuel Neuer. The outstretched leg. Keeping them, oh, sensational. Hits him on the boot. Bukayo Saka was hoping to get any sort of scraps for a tap-in. Well, Arsenal clearly the better side in the second half. Here's Jurrien Timber. Finds Rice. Beriche Eze scored the hat-trick in the North London derby. Hasn't been as influential in this match, but did have a chance in the first half. And Arsenal were 1-0 up. Here's Bukayo Saka. Now Martin Zubimendi to his Spanish teammate Christian Mosquera. Eze between the lines. It's closely marshalled there by Joshua Kimmich. Bayern Munich might have to lean to their substitute bench here because the second half has been all about the Arsenal. Zubimendi switches it on. Beautiful diagonal. Brilliant control there by Jurrien Timber. Saka is very strong, but a little too strong for the referee's liking. Foul there on Konrad Laimer. Don't think Saka's done too much wrong there, but might have just tugged on the jersey. The referee has let play go on pretty smoothly in this match, but some big calls will be made if Konrad Laimer or Dio Upamecano make one more foul. Here's Leonard Karl, finds Joshua Kimmich. Alexander Pavlovic to Jonathan Tah. Pavlovic just dropping between the two centre-halves and picks up a magnificent pass onto the right-hand side for Michael Olise, looking to isolate Miles Lewis-Skelly rather. Oh, outstanding from Olise, breezes past him. He loses his balance at a crucial moment. Could have gone for the pass, went for goal himself. Michael Olise absolutely roasting Miles Lewis-Skelly on that occasion. Here's Jonathan Tah. Pavlovic, better this from Bayern. First time in the second half with sustained period of possession in the Arsenal half. Here's Karl to Olise. Upamecano. Pavlovic. Good patterns here from Bayern Munich. Again, Olise up against Lewis-Skelly. Again, nice triangles being executed on the pitch here. Konrad Laimer been put under pressure by that Jonathan Tah pass. And Bukayo Saka nicks that forward. And Ebre Eze, Arsenal on the counter-attack here. Eze turns, keeps possession. Timber, back to Eze. Arsenal slow the pace down now. Here's Declan Rice, quickly scanning to make sure nobody's on his heels there. He's come the closest in the second half to scoring. Mikel Merino, of course, with that header from the corner, should have scored. Here's Zubimendi. Rice, back to Zubimendi. Arsenal being very patient here on the ball. 24 minutes plus stoppage time remain. Almost inviting the Bayern press here. Zubimendi put under pressure there. Leonard Carl's pressing from the front. Again, where is Harry Kane? You just want him to see him take those positions that Carl is taking. Again, Timber is so good on the ball there under tight pressure situations. Somehow finds his teammate. Saka looking to wriggle away. Good defending there. It's a double substitution being made here by Arsenal. Riccardo Calafiori and Gabriel Martinelli both coming on here. I think it's been a tough game for Miles Lewis-Skelly. So you can understand that maybe, just maybe, that Calafiori will be the left back. Or he could replace Christian Mosquera as well as the left-sided centre-back. Is Saka going to be coming off here? Because Noni Madueke came on as a sub in the 35th minute. Yep, it's going to be Saka for Martinelli, which means Noni Madueke will shift to the right. Martinelli on the left. With an eye on Chelsea at the weekend, Mikel Arteta decides to protect his captain here. Saka has got the assist. Yep, and Miles Lewis-Skelly coming off for Riccardo Calafiori. Tough game for the young left back. Saka and Lewis-Skelly out. Both Hale End products as Martinelli and Calafiori take their places here. Heading into the business end of the match, just feel like one more goal will just separate the two teams. It's been all about Arsenal in the second half. Here's Upamecano. Pavlovic. Jonathan Tah. Bayern almost playing with a back three here now, with Jonathan Tah playing as the left-sided centre-back. Pavlovic as the centre-back. And Dayo Upamecano as the right-sided centre-back. Here's Mosquera. Zubimendi. Mosquera again goes back to David Raya. Again, it's Leonard Carl who's applying the pressure on the goalkeeper, forcing him to go long. Bayern secure possession quite comfortably there. Well, Manuel Neuer's massive save against Declan Rice, keeping the scoreline at 1-1. Ooh, Upamecano's pass is really poor. Rice has pinched it. Here's Ebre Eze on the left-hand side. Is Calafiori whips that ball in. It's 2-1 to Arsenal. Talk about immediate impact. It's the two substitutes that combine. It's Noni Madueke that scores his first goal for Arsenal. And talk about impact. Riccardo Calafiori, his first involvement is a devilish ball into the box. And Madueke, having switched his position to right wing, scoring to give Arsenal the lead. That is a brilliant goal for the Gunners. Again, moment of quality to open up the Bayern defense. It all comes from Dayo Upamecano's pass. That cannot happen, really. Eze with a lovely pass to Calafiori. First time ball in. You can see Laimer nowhere near Noni Madueke. He has the comfortable task of filling into the open net there. Brilliant goal from an Arsenal point of view. It's 2-1 to the Gunners. And they will feel that they have totally deserved this lead. As it stands, Arsenal go 5 wins in 5 in the UEFA Champions League group stages. Noni Madueke scoring his first goal for his new side. And it couldn't have come at a bigger stage than this, at a better time. Well, now it's up to Bayern Munich to once again turn up here in the final 20 minutes. We've seen some outstanding balls in the box. First goal from Bukayo Saka's corner was a devilish one. Serge Gnabry's ball into the box for Leonard Carl's goal was a thing of beauty. And Ricardo Calafiori, with his very first involvement, having replaced Miles Lewis-Kelly, that was a top-notch ball into the box first time. So difficult to defend against. Bayern having to make a change. And it's the man that is on loan from Chelsea, Nico Jackson, getting his final bit of instructions here. Haven't seen Nicolas Jackson play since leaving Chelsea. Calafiori clears. Here's Joshua Kimmich. Cross comes into the box. Oh, that was Serge Gnabry with the acrobatics. Nearly scoring a spectacular goal against his former club. Again, it's Joshua Kimmich who conducts the orchestra from deep. Beautiful floated ball, but Serge Gnabry trying to do the spectacular there to get some sort of contact on it, but that would be his final action for the former Gunner. Well, Konrad Laimer, his evening comes to an end too. On a yellow card, was guilty of falling asleep at the far stake. As Laimer and Gnabry off, Bischoff and Nico Jackson on. Well, difficult game for Konrad Laimer, playing in an unfamiliar position. Left back for him. It was a tough ask. What do Bayern Munich have in store here? Can they find another goal? Well, Nico Jackson will definitely give them a better presence and hold up, with Harry Kane pretty much absent in this match. You can see there it's almost Harry Kane playing as a number 10 now, with Nicolas Jackson as the centre forward. Arsenal have had double the attempts as Bayern Munich. 5 on target for Bayern Munich's 2. Both shots on target have come from the 17-year-old Leonard Carl. This is where Harry Kane really does my head in. I mean, you score all these goals. I mean, he is one of the most lethal goal scorers, but when the moment is big, when the lights shine bright, he often disappears, man. I've seen this far too many times. Yes, his goal record is ridiculous, and in the Bundesliga, he might even break Gerd Muller's record, but it cannot happen when you completely ghost for about 75 minutes. You're playing as an auxiliary defensive midfielder. Yes, he's got the passing range. Yes, he can drop deep and cause all sorts of problems, but he's arrived in the box a grand total of 0 times, really. Saliba picking up a yellow card there. Here's Declan Rice. Once again, his physical capacity in midfield, a nightmare for Bayern to deal. Upamecano finds Harry Kane. Again, on the right-hand side, everywhere but the centre of the goal. There's Declan Rice with the captain's armband. Gets his fans up for the final 15 minutes here. Arsenal 15 plus stoppage time away from having the perfect record in the UEFA Champions League group stages here. It's another foul, this time by Pavlovic on Ebreze. Arsenal have really done the job here on Bayern Munich in the second half. It's been a complete turnaround from the first. Michael Olise needs to try and drag his team here because he's got a focal point in Nico Jackson now. So can he try and use him to his advantage? Lovely control there from Carl again. Some of his touches has been just magnificent. That pass easily intercepted by Ricardo Calafiori, who made that immediate impact since coming on. That was his first touch, I think, which resulted in that assist for Noni Madueke, scoring his first goal for the Gunners since joining from Chelsea in that £50 million move this summer. Kimmich finds Stanisic. Now Michael Olise. He had the better of Miles Lewis-Skelly, but now has a different physical specimen in front of him in Ricardo Calafiori. Here's Dayo Upamecano. Finds Joshua Kimmich. Upamecano again. In Bayern Munich with sideways and horizontal passes, but they play that nicely. Here's Upamecano driving forward. Michael Olise trying to isolate Calafiori. Does well to go on the inside. Twinkle toes there by Michael Olise, but asking way too much there. And Arsenal now looking to play out. Beautiful counter-attack opportunity. Oh my word, what have you done, Manuel Neuer? Gabriel Martinelli to slot it into an empty net. And Arsenal have a 2-goal advantage. Manuel Neuer with 2 shocking mistakes in this match. And Arsenal punished Bayern Munich 3-1 on the night. And with their second half performance, they absolutely deserve it. But the Bayern skipper has played a huge part. He has tried to play that sweeper-keeper role, completely missing out. But again, Bayern Munich lose the ball. Arsenal on the counter-attack, just needing the one pass to open up the Bayern back line. And with Gabriel Martinelli's pace, Bayern Munich were nowhere near it. But my, oh my, you cannot be doing that, Manuel Neuer. Once you get there, you have to make contact with the ball. Look at this. The Bayern centre-half's nowhere there. The first touch there from Martinelli is very good because he goes around Manuel Neuer. High starting position but caught in no man's land. And Arsenal now have a 2-goal cushion and should be 5 wins in 5. A perfect week for Arsenal so far. 4-1 against Tottenham Hotspur. 3-1 against Bayern Munich. Talk about the perfect preparation for that massive clash on Sunday against Chelsea at the Bridge. Arsenal getting the business done here. It's pretty much impossible here for Bayern Munich now. Arsenal seldom concede goals in bunches, and they're hungry for more here. Declan Rice has found it forward. Manuel Neuer late to the party, but sweeps up nicely. Good pass forward for Nico Jackson, who makes the ball stick in the forward region. Oh, that's Leonard Carl with a needless foul on Jurrien Timber. Well, Vincent Kompany would have been very pleased with the way that first half went, but he'll be the first to acknowledge the second half. Arsenal have been the better team. Merino should have scored from the corner. Declan Rice came very close to adding the second after that brilliant Manuel Neuer save. In a space of 10-15 minutes, Arsenal open up a 2-goal advantage against Bayern Munich. What a week it's been for the Premier League sides in the Champions League. The London sides, I would say. Oh my goodness, Liverpool are 3-1 down at home to PSV Eindhoven. They were 1-1 at half time. In the second half, it has just fallen apart for Arne Slot. It just feels like his time at the club might be coming to an end because they just can't win and they're conceding 3 goals at home in back-to-back games. Oh, Nico Jackson might pick up a yellow card for dissent. Just throws the ball away, but it's a yellow card for Mikel Merino instead. Oh, that's a cynical foul there by Mikel Merino. Real Madrid are 4-2 up against Olympiacos. And a double substitution here by Mikel Arteta. Looking to protect and preserve his players for that big clash against Chelsea. Jurrien Timber makes way for Ben White. And the Arsenal captain, Martin Odegaard, having missed a considerable amount of time with that shoulder injury, is back again here. Ebreze will make way. As we head into the final 10 minutes, Arsenal shuffling the pack here and having the luxury of the 2-goal advantage. Making more changes here. Yeah, man. Absolutely. Liverpool, what's happening there, man? There's no explanation whatsoever. I mean, forget about buying wins. The fact that they're conceding goals in clusters should really frighten every Liverpool fan. Bayern Munich making a triple change here. Far too late for my liking. Yes, Goretzka coming on for Joshua Kimmich. I think Vincent Kompany was far too passive in the second half. He needed to make changes quickly. He doesn't do that. Rafa Guerreiro coming on as that left back, and Kim Min-jae replacing Dayo Upamecano. Leonard Carl scoring Bayern's only goal. He can hold his head high. I think he's played very well, but Dayo Upamecano started well, but you see that his performance starting to decline in the second half, much like the entire Bayern Munich side. Arsenal in the second half have totally dominated Bayern Munich. Okay, no luck whatsoever for Bayern Munich in the attacking phase. Olise trying to venture forward and disrupt Calafiori. Declan Rice on the outside. What a performance Declan Rice has had in the second half. I mean, you cannot compete if you don't have someone to try and neutralize his physicality. He is a monster in midfield. Oh, that's a foul there by Martin Zubomendi. It's a high boot. He'll be very fortunate to not pick up a booking there. Zubomendi just trying to be aggressive and try and pinch that ball. Bayern Munich in the second half totally outplayed, still struggling to build out here. It's been totally anonymous performance by Harry Kane. Yet again, when the lights shine the brightest, Harry Kane often disappears. It's not a popular take, but I've seen it far too many times, man. His goals in the Bundesliga isn't fooling me. His goals for Spurs led to a grand total of nothing. Yes, he'll keep picking up Bundesligas for Bayern Munich. They've done it well before his arrival. They'll keep doing it long after he's gone. But he has to deliver the Champions League for Bayern Munich. Here's Gabriel Martinelli. Will the subs for Mikel Arteta paying dividends? Calafiori setting up Madueke, and then Gabriel Martinelli running from his own half. That horrible mistake by Manuel Neuer. I mean, his starting position was really advanced, but you cannot be doing that, man. Well, Arsenal looking to kill the game here. They have been extremely professional. They've identified their shortcomings in the first half and been a completely different animal in the second. 6 minutes plus stoppage time remain. Arsenal looking to beat Bayern Munich with the same scoreline that they did against Spurs. The PSG Tottenham game is absolutely crazy. I mean, there's 8 goals in that match. Oh, Arsenal looking for the fourth here. Martinelli lays it off for Odegaard. Very close. The offside flag having been raised there. 5-3 at the Parc des Princes. How the hell did Tottenham Hotspur manage to score 3 away from home? Considering how turgid they have been in front of goal. A Vitinha hat-trick. I mean, What else can we expect in the Champions League? Vitinha, the midfielder, scoring a hat-trick. William Pacho scoring one. And Fabian Ruiz. As for Spurs, Richarlison with one and Randall Kolo Muani against his parent club scoring two. Kolo Muani with 2 goals and an assist. Back at his return at Parc des Princes. There's been goals galore in match week 5 of the UEFA Champions League. It'll be difficult to try and recap all of them. Declan Rice with another brilliant interception, but he loses out here. Goretzka, Pavlovic, Nico Jackson can't get there. The 2 ex-Chelsea players dueling there with Madueke and Nico Jackson. And Jackson has been fairly anonymous since coming on. I mean, just the 1 touch so far. Well, Vincent Kompany will know that his team have been roundly beaten in the second half, but he can take full encouragement on how they played in the first. Football being a 90-minute game just shows you that Arsenal had far too much in the tank for Bayern Munich. Top of the league in the Premier League, top of the league in the Champions League. Mikel Arteta is really standing on business here. Here's Kim Min-jae. Again, the distribution from the Bayern defenders has just gone down a black hole here, really. Kim Min-jae struggling. Jonathan Tah has put Harry Kane under immense pressure. He wriggles away from the challenge. Again, look where Harry Kane is, man. This is really not helpful. Bischoff trying to have his first involvement. 3 minutes plus stoppage time remain as Ben White's first involvement. It's a good clearance away. Here's Kane again. Poor pass there from Harry Kane, picked up by Riccardo Calafiori. Arsenal looking to add the 4th and the flourish here. It's the goal scorer Gabriel Martinelli. Good defending there by Leon Goretzka. Well, Martinelli scored some big goals despite not starting too many games for Arsenal this season. Remember, he scored that last-minute equaliser against Manchester City. Scored a couple of big goals in the Champions League and now adding the cushion here against Bayern Munich at the Emirates Stadium. Bayern just running out of ideas, now looking to press. It's far too late. And see Olise and Jackson with that 2-man press. Jackson nearly getting there. Arsenal looking very comfortable here. They have navigated a very difficult test. They've come out in flying colours, in perfect preparation for that game against Chelsea. They have conceded against Spurs and Bayern Munich, but to be fair, Richarlison chipped Raya from nearly the halfway line, and the Bayern Munich goal was really a special team goal. So you're having to do the outrageous, the special to beat the Arsenal defence. That's a poor switch there by Bischoff, asking so much from Olise. How has he kept that in? Brilliant from Michael Olise. He's had no joy against Riccardo Calafiori. It's brilliant from Calafiori again. So aggressive in his defending. You can see from this match why Calafiori has been preferred over Miles Lewis-Kelly this season. Declan Rice losing out there. Last touch has come off the Bayern player. Throw in for Arsenal. The final minute of normal time. Arsenal have put on the perfect second half performance here. Bayern Munich have not turned up in the second 45. They have not tested David Raya whatsoever. Leonard Calvert, the only effort on target in the second half. I think it's the only effort period in the second half for Bayern Munich. It was a tame shot straight at David Raya. Arsenal could have had 4 and 5. Declan Rice with a massive opportunity. Mikel Merino from close range. His header, if that was on target, could have been a goal for Arsenal. So this has been an absolute clinic from the Gunners. Oh my goodness me, PSV have scored a 4th. What is happening at Anfield? 3 against Nottingham Forest, 4 against PSV. It is absolutely crazy as Declan Rice delivers the header by Calafiori. is straight at Manuel Neuer. I don't see how Arne Slot survives this one here. 4 minutes of stoppage time has been added on at the Emirates Stadium. I mean, there's ways to lose, but when you concede goals in buckets, especially at Anfield, which was a fortress up until last season, you just know that the cracks are just starting to widen and nobody's able to paper over it or even put a plaster on it. The defeats are starting to get really heavy now. And when PSV score 4 at Anfield, man oh man, Arne Slot will not know what to do here because he's going with strong teams as well here. It's not like he's playing the kids or rotating heavily. Yes, he has his favourites with Cody Gakpo on the left-hand side. Looks like he can do no wrong. Whatever happens, he'll start games. Salah on the right. No Florian Wirtz, of course. He's picked up a long-term injury, but he has not settled in Liverpool colours whatsoever this season. Which means that Curtis Jones played the number 10, but the goals were tough to come by. It's Kim Min-jae. Well cleared away. Chance here for Bayern Munich to add a consolation goal. And it's blasted well over the crossbar by the centre half. Fell kindly to Kim Min-jae. As the camera pans to Vincent Kompany, who will know that his team have been roundly beaten. Back to the drawing board for Vincent Kompany. Well, the Arsenal fans, they know they have a big season ahead. They know that they're getting at least one piece of silverware. Can they pick up both the big prizes come the end of the season? If they can do a double, the league and the Champions League double, which very few teams have done. Manchester City, last team to do that 3 years ago. Absolutely, Aman. Liverpool, slippery slope indeed. I mean, and there's nothing to stop it. It's not like they're missing players or the defense. Van Dijk's there, Konate is there, Kirkes, Robertson. Mid-table, they could slip further back there. They're behind Everton, if I'm not mistaken. That has not happened for so long. Everton, Liverpool and Manchester United all level on points. Absolute mess in the north of England. Here's Michael Olise. Final minute of stoppage time. Cross comes in. It's no surprise that it's Declan Rice with yet another interception. I have to see the goals that Liverpool have conceded. Are they comical? Is it just brilliance from PSV? We saw them against Nottingham Forest. I mean, Forest, they had a goal disallowed which had to stand. It was a handball. It was a shocking call from the fourth official and VAR even. I don't know how they ever saw that handball on Igor. But 3-0 did not flatter Nottingham Forest. In the second half, they were absolutely brilliant at Anfield. That's right, Aman. They're behind Manchester United, and Manchester United have been shocking this season themselves. Lost to 10 men, Everton, on Monday night. Well, Mikel Arteta with yet another tactical masterclass. This time, not in the entire 90 minutes, but in the second half. He has totally put one over Vincent Kompany. Leaders of the Bundesliga getting a lesson, a footballing lessons from the leaders of the Premier League. Well, the referee has had a look. Bayern looking to play with a bit of intensity, but it'll be pretty much pointless here. The referee has had a look at his watch. Bayern Munich will know that they have been absolutely wounded here. Arsenal in the second half, just showing you why they are one of the favourites to go all the way, not just in the league, but in the Champions League as the full-time whistle blows at the Emirates Stadium. Arsenal with a clinical second half performance. 1-1 at the break. It was Timber who scored the first and Carl 10 minutes later, but in the second half it was all about the Arsenal. Noni Madueke scoring in the 69th minute. And then Gabriel Martinelli rounding off Manuel Neuer, who was caught in no man's land in his own half, slotting into the empty net. Arsenal could and should have scored more. This scoreline really does flatter Bayern Munich. Arsenal 5 wins in 5 in the Champions League, top of the Premier League, top of the Champions League group stages, as they head to the massive test at Stamford Bridge on Sunday at the back of 2 brilliant results, first against Spurs and then against Bayern Munich midweek. Neuer with 2 big mistakes, a huge contributing factor for Arsenal getting those 2 goals. But in the second half, Arsenal levels and streets ahead of Bayern Munich. The substitutions working to a T. Ricardo Calafiori with his first involvement, getting an assist. But I think Declan Rice once again monstrous in the middle of the park. Bayern Munich had no answer to his physicality and ball carrying abilities. Another one of those performances there by Declan Rice, showing you why Arsenal spent 100 million for the English midfielder. Full time here at the Emirates Stadium. It's Arsenal 3, Bayern Munich 1. Well, Real Madrid went 4-3 away at Greece. That was a pretty tricky game considering Kylian Mbappe had a first half hat-trick. There's been goals galore here as the Bayern Munich fans are serenading their players despite being totally outclassed in the second half. Showing their away support there is brilliant, but Bayern Munich nowhere near the levels in the second half. Liverpool losing 4-1 at Anfield against PSV, as Paris Saint-Germain, the reigning European champions, putting 5 past Tottenham Hotspur. Vitinha with a hat-trick. We very rarely see that happening, with Vitinha scoring 3, Fabian Ruiz 1 and William Pacho scoring 1 to make it 5 for PSG. Spurs, to their credit, did score 3 away at Parc des Princes. Richarlison with 1, Kolo Muani with 2, but not enough whatsoever. Harry Kane with a disappointing performance, nowhere near his levels, as Mikel Arteta takes 1 over Vincent Kompany. Well, it's been a fantastic live stream once again. Match week 5 has seen goals galore. Chelsea beat Barcelona 3-0 yesterday, and Arsenal today put 3 past Bayern Munich. It's been once again an eventful stream. It's been totally enjoyable. Thank you all for tuning in. Whatever point you did, it was really enjoyable. I really do appreciate it. Thank you very much, and I'll see you guys for the next stream. The big match on Sunday, Chelsea versus Arsenal. We will be there.